Many Kong's Cards tournaments and breakdowns will be coming, and the rogue for this one is actually surprising. Hi, Marincess, looking at you. Make sure you guys smash the link crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. So your top 16 breakdown for this event, 100 and plus players for this. Top 16 was 3 tier and 2 in for noble. Okay, so that's it. Everything else is a one of. Well, yeah, so we had 1 Labyrinth, 1 Branded, a Dragon Link. That's pretty standard. I mean, Dragon Link typically sits at the dinner table here. We had 1 Rescue Ace, only 1 Fire King, actually, and it didn't even make its way into top 8. We had 1 Purely, 1 Unchained, a Math Mech, a Centurion, a Marincess, and a Vanquish Soul. This is a very big, well spread out meta that actually kind of proves that, you can do well with literally anything at the current format, especially on like the regional level to get your invite with these choices. Like, it's pretty easy, and that's what I like to see here. Now, your top 8, 2 tier. So out of top 16, 2 tier made their way on in to the threshold, which is actually pretty good. We also had 1 Rescue Ace. That's pretty straightforward, I feel like, at this point in time. We had 1 Unchained. So, wow, the 1 Unchained player and the 1 Rescue Ace player both overcame the meta. Okay. We also had 1 Math Mech. Holy moly, our Math Mech duelist challenging the meta here and actually overcoming. That's genuinely impressive. We also had our Centurion duelist stepping on into the light and getting 2nd place, actually, out of this event. And then Marincess and Vanquishal kind of doing their thing here as well. But to be honest with you, I'm pretty impressed with the spread of this meta. Like, once again, even like jumping into top 8 here, the amount of rogue that was present grinding through this is actually genuinely impressive. So this is, like I said, this is just the first of many of these breakdowns. Let's pass on over to deck list. All right, so winning our event here is Braum Poke. Yeah, it's the power of tier, man. Like, I'm telling you, the Dueling Book Simulator loves just passing on the good luck here. We do play the King of the Swamp still with the polymerization. We do side the Heartbeat, and of course, one of the things that I've noticed a lot, the Braum Poke typically ends up playing a lot of, is usually the There Can Only Be Ones. This steals a lot of games for him. Trust me when I say that. Do not underestimate how stupid good this card actually is for the deck. Next up here, we have our Centurion sporting off our Horus package, as per usual. We do have the Cashier stuff, and we are playing a Regulus in here as well. This is actually kind of cool to see. And of course, we can actually manually make Sargass to go search for this extremely good card here. So you can, put the pressure on your opponent, and congratulations. You're doing some different things with Centurion that I think a lot of people might not necessarily have considered. So very, very nice. Next up here, we have our Unchained variant climbing the ranks into Top Cut here, which is very nice. We still are doing the DD package. I'm telling you, we're never getting away from the DDD stuff, all right? We have droplets for board breaking. We have some thrust, make sure that we can toggle on into what we need to. And of course, the mistaken arrest to put the good pressure on the opponent. And all of our super poly targets that we could ever actually want are checking the side deck. All right, good stuff. Next up for top 4 here, we have more tier. Wow. Both of the tier elements were very heavy up in the food chain here, demonstrating what they could do. Our package of Horus, very standard. I do see that we have Kelbeck, Mudor, all of our friends here. We are playing the Malleys. We have the built-in super polys. And yes, we are playing the Shyama. I swear, everybody in the world's moved on to this, but Braum Poke is just like, nah, I don't need it. It doesn't help my strategy of winning. All right, I'm consistent without the garbage. Next up here for our top 8, we have Marincess. Very surprising here to actually see Marincess doing good. We are sporting off double Battle Ocean, which I like this. This is good. The fact that, the Battle Oceans will put the pressure on the opponent. And, by putting the pressure on, I mean, hey, you outed it, get wrecked, I have the second. We're citing Spiritual Water Art Owie down here as a 3 of 2. All right, well, this ensures that, you see this card, you're getting free hand knowledge, you know exactly what to play around. Next up here, we have our Vanquish Soul variant. I still love the fact this is a fire monster. Yeah, baby, free support. Play one copy of the Vanquish Soul Snow Devil. There's our TC Booze, of course. We have the power of the Herald of the Abyss with the thrust for post-side decking. Handle the cat, and you do see the Chalkanine Borbo little shenanigans to turbo out the big old Zeus Daddy to clean things up. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with this. Looks pretty standard in my personal opinion for what you want to do here. Next up here, we have our Mathmech Duelist, and there's the Signet rollback. Alright, so we are playing triple Firewall Defensor, the one Firewall Guardian, of course, the one Microcoder. I actually really like the interaction with this. See that we are citing the one copy of Multiplication in here, and we are main decking double droplets for some sort of board breaking options. Love the one Feather Duster triple Cosmic Cyclone as well. Alright, and then triple Crow. Also only two Small World. That's kind of cool. Next up here are we have the power of Rescue Ace, and yes, we are doing the Infernoble package in here. I feel like at this point this is pretty much a given. You know, people want to be able to make sure that they can toggle down the lines, you know, put that aggression on the opponent. Also, you know, stepping through the double SP Little Knights for the combo is actually pretty good. Still one field spell, triple copies of the Super Polys to make sure that you can board break. Yeah, I don't really see anything else too crazy about this. Feels pretty normal at this point. Next up here, we have Infernoble Gas. Angel's Ring, still one of the best good cards that you could possibly want to have. Also 45 cards, I think is fine. There's not really too much craziness that you're bringing out with it. I mean, it's fine. Like, it might seem like a little bit much, but I mean, you're trying to offset the terrible draws. And trust me, this deck is notorious for the terrible draws, especially when you could draw all of your equips and just cry. Next up here, we have our last tier deck here, and we are playing Beast King of the Swamps here. I do love my Fusion Subbers also acting as Aqua Monsters for, you know, whatever that you need to do them for. We have double droplets for board breaking. Hey, there's no Shyama in here. Holy crap, but we are playing some of the Shadal stuff so we can actually cheese out the window. Once again, tier is, the doors are wide open for the ideas and things that you can bring to the table for these and actually have them be successful. It's so cool. Next up, we have our Purely Duelist. Wow, Purely actually climbing up and doing something out here. I'm always surprised by these events because Purely looks like it just gets punted around, but to be fair, you know, one thrust into, you know, the Herald and they get board broke, followed by usually OTK, and it usually does put them in a pretty bad position overall. Still sliding the triple summon limit as they should be. This build's actually bringing econs into the fire as well, so you've got a pretty good spread of things for this. Okay, next up here, we have Fire Kings. Double Diabellstar the Dark Witch. Okay. I see that most Fire King stuff here checks out. We have a Super Polys for yield board breaking. And I see that we're bringing in some skill drains as well. This is actually really cool because most of your stuff's going to be able to kind of rotate and do as it needs to do. And you should just be putting that aggression on your opponent. Outside of that, very, very interesting just to see the ideas that are coming with this. Next up here, we have more Infernoble. Man, let me tell you, 44 cards this time. I do see that we are playing our Ice Heart. Free Little Warriors, you gotta love to see it. I mean, it helps most of the stuff out. And you are seeing the very famous Purely Leap into the Noble or Crossout Designators to stop the Purely matchup, the thing that Pack pretty much popularized at this point to make sure, you know, this deck can kind of hold on and do its thing. And interesting little side deck choices down here as well. Alright, next up here, we have our Labyrinth special. We are playing one Destructive Durmkin, and we are seeing some Ice Dragon's Prison value down here as well. Interesting. Only 2 Welcome Labyrinth, which I think is fine now. We are playing double copies of Lord of the Heavenly Prison to get that fresh reveal and make sure that you're aggressing your opponent. And you do see the one of Different Dimension Ground just so you can immediately pull out the value that you might need for this. Outside of that, looks pretty standard. Next up here, we have our Branded special. Okay. First of all, 44 cards. We are main decking the Gimmick Puppet support. We are making the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. We're only playing 1 Thrust with 1 Talents, but it's also probably because they can double up as cross-out targets as well. So, you know, you can hit these running and laugh at your opponent. I do see we have Shifter with the Drolls. Outside of that, everything else looks pretty standard for this list. Okay. And our last list here is some Dragon Link. Sporting off Ghost Ogres, actually. This is a nice little change of pace. Somebody actually trying Ogre out here and looking like they're kind of getting away with it. I'll see that we have Drolls in here. We're boarding our Thrust as well. And we have Crows down here to be able to side deck in as well. I see that we are playing the Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend for time. But outside of that, there's nothing really too crazy here. Honestly, most of this looks what I'd consider pretty straightforward. So what do you guys think? Please, comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.